Thanks, guys. Mike Gonzalez here with Armando Garza, talking Weslaco against Donna this week 2 of the Valley High School football season. And, when it comes to rivalries, Mondo, I think you and I can really relate to this specific one because we grew up here. You are a Donna High School graduate, and I'm a Weslaco High School graduate. We'll leave it at that, other than that we graduated last century. But anyway, but that's why we're here. We want to let everybody know how special this rivalry is and what it means to us and the community for both cities. Just to give you a little history of it, Donna leads the all-time series 46, 31, and 4. They first played in 1922, and Donna won that game 41-0. And basically, after that, the series was pretty even up until... Really, I remember from 91 to 94, Panthers won 4 straight games to cut that series of 34, 27, and 4 in Donna's favor. But then after that, the Redskins really took a hold of that series and dominated the late 90s and 2000s, basically winning 11 out of 13 games by an average score of 31-14. But so anyway, what I want to ask you, Mondo, is what does this rivalry mean to you and the Valley?
I'll say first of all that I think this is the best rivalry in the Valley, and I know I'm gonna get San Diego people saying, "What? Are you crazy, Battle Arroyo?" But when a rivalry as intense as this, and as even as this, and as competitive as it is, it does go back to the 20s. I know the Battle Arroyo has a lot of history too, and Harlingen dominated and all that good stuff. But for me, pound for pound, I mean the Donna Weslaco rivalry, just the intensity. I mean, yeah, you've had some negative stuff, but you've had some good stuff too. The great players that have played in these games, the great coaches, just the names that have. I mean, it's just you can go on and on with this rivalry. So as far as a Valley scope about it, I mean, to me, hands down, it's Donna Weslaco. I put the battle right there and Ed Couch Mercedes after that. But me personally, I mean, I did go to school in Donna, so no, I didn't go to Rio Hondo, I didn't go to San Benito, I didn't go to PI. Okay, so I did go to Donna, growing up, first of all, you're going to be taught about the 61 team right away, okay? And back when I was in school, there was an anniversary for it, and big deal about that. So, but it's on the water tower, it's on everybody's shirt, it's on it. I mean, they're proud of it. We are proud of it, and so all about the history of Donna football and Donna Redskins. Now you got to share that with the new Donna North Chiefs, who are hopefully getting their stuff started. But growing up here, it's all about Donna Redskin football. I mean, we could spend hours here. Rattling off names of coaches, players, teams. Oh, remember this team, remember this guy. So just it is special to the community. I mean, football is what brings Donna together. Really.
You said you bring up names earlier. The Earl Scott, the head coach of that state championship team. You think of Norm Evans, who played in the NFL. Luis Pedraza, who was a quarterback of that state championship team. And then you got in Weslaco, you got Bobby Lackey. Who's come out on the cover of Sports Illustrated, whose name has come out in a motion picture, The Express, that featured that Heisman Trophy winner from Syracuse. Then you have guys like Mishak Rivas, who rushed for over 3,000 yards in his senior year. And we can go on and on and on. Then you have Manny Moreno here in Donna, who was the last Donna coach to win a district championship.
Yeah, that's a free plug there for our good friend here, Manny Moreno.
So. and now Tony V, who's put in a decade worth of Weslaco football and has had some games against the Donna Redskins. But I am with you in that argument that I have always thought that the Donna Weslaco rivalry, I think, is the fiercest. Pound for pound, like you say. The Battle of the Arroyo probably gets the most ink. When we talk about media.
And we can thank Eladio Jaimes for that. So, but I'm just throwing that out there.
And Buddy Green.
And Buddy Green.
Paul Canatzer. But when you think of the fiercest rivalry, when you think of the two towns and what the win means to each other when it does happen, it really means a lot for them. And in my opinion, I always thought that whoever won that matchup always carried them for the rest of the year, whether if it was the beginning of the year, it would carry them for the rest of the year, middle of the year, or even at the end of the year. There was always big games when Donna and Weslaco played each other. And it was just something, a banner that they would hold for a whole year. It was bragging rights, as a lot of these coaches would say. I always thought Donna Weslaco, number one in my book in rivalries, Valley rivalries. Ed Cachelso, Mercedes, number two. and Battle del Arroyo number 3. Just pound for pound.
Yeah.
Those are I think our 3 top rivalries here in the Valley. With
I
Donna
agree with
Welsaco
that.
being
Sure.
the best. Give me your favorite moment from this rivalry.
Wow. I remember being a kid, and I had a student ticket for the 1991 game. I was supposed to be here at Benny La Prade. It wasn't as big as it is now. Got moved to McAllen Memorial Stadium. I parked about a mile away, it seems, and I had to walk there. And Weslaco won, 28-3.
Right.
But that was a huge deal in Donna that year. It was like what I mean. The demand was so big and so great that they had to move the game to McAllen Memorial Stadium. So that kind of sticks out at me. I was in high school and I was in the stands during the fight in '96. I was there. Yeah, I did not jump the rail. I almost did. I did
felt
not
like
though.
it at least.
Yeah, I wanted to, but I didn't. But yeah, that was a 16-15 game, and
It wasn't fun at the time, but at least
you can laugh about it now.
We can
Yeah,
laugh about it
it was
now,
20 years ago, but yeah.
I was at that game too, and I remember that as well. It was
Yeah.
Weslaco's homecoming actually, so it was like
Yeah.
a perfect storm, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and there was a lot building up, and I think Donna went 3-7 that year, but one of the 3 was against Weslaco. So.
In that game, it was at the end of the year, and both teams didn't do so well.
Right.
I think the Panthers finished 2-8 or
Something like that, yeah.
So basically, that game was nothing but bragging rights,
Right,
basically.
right.
So and it was Weslaco's homecoming, so it was just a cherry on top.
Yeah, it
for the
was.
Redskins
So
faithful.
I mean, those 2 stick out. I can rattle off games. Like I said, I haven't covered one as a professional. I've never covered one. I've covered both teams.
Right.
I've covered a game here once. It was a playoff game back in '07. But I've never had the pleasure, like Eladio Jaimes does every single week. Again, sorry, Eladio, to cover your alma mater. I've covered them one time, and it's a lot of fun. You hear the Cherokee and you hear everything, and it's special. It really is.
Right.
But as far as covering it as a professional, I haven't. I haven't been to one since maybe 2000, 2001.
Right.
Something like that. But even then, I mean, I've watched plenty on tape and stuff like that. So
Yeah. My first ever high school football game was a 6-year-old. I guess I was in kindergarten, first grade, something like that. It was a Donna Weslaco game at the old Barbie Field.
yeah, Barbie Field, yeah.
So, when you think of your first memory of being inside a football stadium, and actually, growing up as a younger kid, 2, 3, 4 years old, I used to drive around Barbie Field. Okay, and that was the only taste I had. But then, that first game was my first true taste of being inside of a stadium, and it just turned out that it was Weslaco against Donna, and hearing that Cherokee War chant, and then hearing the Pink Panther Weslaco Pink Panther song, it really sticks at you, and then you just kind of saw both teams go neck and neck.
Yeah.
And from that point on, I went to every Donna
You were
Weslaco
hooked.
game. I was hooked.
Yeah.
And I went to a lot of those Donna Weslaco games growing up in the 80s and 90s and post-graduation. But like you, the 1991 season really stands out at me, and here's why.
Yeah. I had a feeling you were going there. But no.
There was a game, and it was a great game. But folks got to remember, the players weren't born yet. But what folks got to remember is that in those days, the highway was only 2 lanes on each side. In the middle was grassy, it was bushes, and so what I remember was not only leading up to the game where the students were going crazy. That was my freshman year of high school. And that was the year the Panthers went 12-1 and won their first district title.
Yeah.
Since
Who was that quarterback? I forgot his name.
Colossals or something.
Yeah.
He was an all-state player, D1 prospect.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Andrew Gonzalez. Anyway. The students were just so into it.
Yeah.
And we had just beaten Harlingen the week before. And when we beat Harlingen 52-27, that was the first win against Harlingen in 9 years.
Yeah.
So that I always say a team makes an exclamation point or a mark to a season when they get a win like that.
Sure. Yeah.
What happened was that they beat Harlingen, and then came the Donna game, and as you mentioned, they had to move the game from Donna to McAllen because by then both programs were so they're already one of the best in the valley.
Yeah.
Both teams were 4-0. Donna had made the playoffs the year before, and the Panthers had already sustained themselves as a power in the late 80s and the early 90s.
Sure.
So, everybody was into it, and the whole valley was into it. And I think people from even San Antonio, I heard rumors that coaches from San Antonio came down to this game.
Yeah.
And, anyway, the whole point of it was the drive over there, just how packed the highway was, and I had never seen that before.
Yeah.
And then after the game, the drive back, it was just bumper to bumper from Bicentennial all the way to Donna, where people were just crossing through the grass just to get on the frontage, as if there was a car accident. But there wasn't a car accident. It was because all of Donna and all of Weslaco was there, including a lot of the valley.
Yeah.
That was the first time I had seen the band at McAllen Memorial Stadium. Both bands were in the track.
On the track, yeah.
When you go to a game in McAllen, the bands, the drill team, the cheerleaders are in the stands.
Yeah.
But that's how unbelievable it was.
Yeah.
Just the environment. And that was, what was it, 15, 16,000
About
people.
15, yeah, for sure. Because I think it was sold out over there.
It was a
if I'm not
complete
mistaken.
sellout. It was a complete sellout. And so just the magic.
Yeah.
The hype was there, the magic, and then you played the game. And for over a half or 3/4, the game lived up to the hype before the Panthers pulled away. And that was my favorite memory from the whole series.
Yeah.
Another one that stands out at me was in 1987, the last year the Panthers played at Barbie Field. They had to win the last game of the year to clinch their first playoff spot since 1970. And who did they play? They played Donna.
Yeah.
And not only did they beat them, but they pounded them 35-0.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what I remember was after the game, how happy the whole community was. And for those that don't know where Barbie Field is at, it's where Nat Medical Center is at.
Yeah, and behind it.
So you're pretty much on the south side of town. So so all the vehicles were going through downtown, honking their horns, going crazy, and that was that stayed with me.
Yeah.
But then you have that 1996 game with 16-15 when that fight that supposedly came out on CNN as well.
Yeah, I think it did. Yeah.
And has many views on YouTube. So a lot of people have heard about this, what happened. I mean, but there's been so many. I mean, you remember Mark Evans in
the next
97.
the next year, Mark Evans goes for 2-something.
Yeah.
Here on Halloween night, and Donna beats Weslaco.
Right here at
Pride.
Big game. That was a really big game.
Sure.
Because the winner, I think, clinched a playoff spot.
Yeah. And the old 32-5.
In the old 32-5, and Donna won that game, and so that was a really good game. And so there were so many great games. We can talk 1969. I think both teams were undefeated.
Yeah.
And there was a big game here in Donna. I mean, there's just so many. We could bring in so many people in here. That give us so many stories about it. But you and I, we can talk about the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s.
Yeah, it goes back way before that.
It was way back before that. So that was our favorite moment. But the other thing we got to mention that it's the Fox Southwest DQ Game of the Week.
Yeah.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's a big deal because now the rivalry gets put on a statewide stage, and people are going to get to see how intense and how passionate the fans of Donna are and the fans of Welsaco. And they're going to get to see that. Everybody watches it after the game. You get home, you get your Whataburger or whatever. You get home, and you flip it on Fox Sports. Everybody watches that. They've only been down here a handful of times.
Right.
I think it'll be great to showcase the great facilities they have here in Donna.
Right.
The one we're in right now, especially.
Right.
But I think that it can only be a positive for the rivalry because people get to see it. It's on such a big stage, and I know the players are pumped up on both sides. The community's pumped up. So, like you said, a little cherry on top this year. So a little added emphasis on this year's game for sure.
One, I'm glad that Fox Sports Southwest is picked Donna and Welsaco for their game of the week.
Yeah.
Two, I'm glad the game is here in Donna. As much as Bobby's Lackey Stadium, I think, is the best stadium in the valley.
Very nice.
And they have the coolest scoreboard ever. I really feel the rivalry, that people will feel it better here in Donna.
Yeah.
There's just something about playing here in Donna, in a Donna Welsaco game that just brings more life, I think.
Yeah.
And I just think the timing was right. And I just think that having it here in Donna, puts that cherry on top.
Yeah, no, it does. And then, and then they're going to see it everywhere. 1961 state champions. And for people that don't know that the Valley does have a public high school state championship. So people are like, wow, the Valley has. So it can only be a good thing. For everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And with that said, we got to talk about the game itself.
Yeah.
Donna lost 49-42 against Brownsville Veterans.
Yeah.
The Panthers beat Harlingen South 28-24. Who are you picking to win this game?
Just based on offensive firepower and that little home field advantage, I got to go with the Redskins. But there's with good reason. I mean, Amante Bowen, you know, I mean, he's back. You know, you got Doherty back there. They both go for 200 yards against veterans. They started a little slow, you know, but once they got moving, they put up, well, I think close to 500 yards or over 500 yards of offense. So, you know, I think they won't need to get hyped up to start for this game. I don't expect a slow start for Donna in this game.
Okay.
And if they can get that going, that ground attack, keep Weslaco off the field, I think it's going to be a long night for Weslaco. Sorry.
Okay. Well, now that you've spoken with your heart, who do you really feel like is going to win this game? I was just kidding. Okay. Good analysis, good pick. That's fine. Here's what I think is going to boil down to for me. Both offenses, I think, are going to rack up points. They proved it in that first game that they can move the ball. The Panthers racked up like almost 400 yards, I think, against the Hawks. And the Redskins piled up, almost over 400, I think. So they have the weapons. Both teams have the weapons. To me, it's going to boil down to defense. Which defense can slow the other down? You know what I mean? They're not gonna stop them. Who's gonna slow them down? Who can create turnovers? Who can get a break or two? Who can, you know, which defensive player can make a play, a key play? There's always a time in the game where there's a crucial third down, whether it's in the second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. There's always that one play that people are gonna remember that changes the game around, and it usually comes on defense. Special teams. It may boil down to the kicker. The last 2 years. Donna had an opportunity to either win the game last year or tie it 2 years ago here in Donna. Special teams are crucial. You know, the punters are going to be important in this game. The kickers, if there's a field goal to be kicked, you know, they got to execute that kick, and that's for both teams. To me, that's what it's going to boil down to, because I don't know if the both offenses can be stopped.
And there's a lot to be said about Weslaco's defense, what they did last week. I mean, they were on the field a lot in the second half.
In the second half, that is a good point.
And they did the job. They got it done. You know, and Coach Tony was quick to point that out. Hey, my defense was out there, and they pulled us through here. So, you know, that's not to say that Donna's going to run all over them. But, you know, I just think they have a little more firepower, but that's not a knock on Weslaco's defense, because they did a great job last week.
Quarterback Doherty had 200 yards. Amante Bowen had over 200 yards. They combined for 5 touchdowns. And then you have Weslaco, who had Brian Guerra, Uciel Gonzalez.
I like Brian Guerra. He's a good quarterback.
Jonathan Martinez, they're all fast. Here's a wild card for me. Yeah, I mean, they're all running backs. Good point. Wild card for me that I failed to mention last week when we did our preview. Major Free. You give him the ball, he has the potential to break a long one. Okay? He's fast, and he's a north and south runner. On defense, his brother, Justice Free, is a defensive end, speed. He may cause havoc in the backfield. You know, I know against Harjan South, someone told me that he almost had like 3 sacks. So those 2 guys, look out for them. And with that said, well, my pick. The Panthers have won the last 2 games. I expect it to be 3 in a row after about 10 o'clock Friday night. And so, And with that said, the last thing we want to do is give a shout out to our pal, Jabrios, the former PA announcer for Donna, who passed away last year shortly after the season. He was a longtime Donna announcer from 1985. This way he announced over 150 games. I would always tell him that he was one of my favorite announcers. In the Valley. I had him and Marcos Hernandez at Welsaco as my 2 favorite PA announcers in the Valley. And it's sad to see him go, and he was just brought something I just felt like he was a perfect fit for Donna football, what it stood for, just the tone of his voice.
He had a golden voice. He really did.
He did.
It was synonymous with Donna football.
It was.
And it's funny because, you know, a lot of these announcers, you think, well, they just stick some guy up there, but you know, Job was. I feel he was the best in the business, and a lot of people felt that way. And these announcers, you know, you had Benny Layton and Ed Couch a couple years ago, and people get used to that. People, I mean, that's comforting to them. They know that what they're gonna hear. They know the style, they know the tone, and that's part of the experience. You know, just like the band is too. You know, you go to a football game without a band, it's like, this is not a game, it's a scrimmage. You know? But with Job, he was definitely, for me, he was the best in the business. Just the voice, the respect he would give both teams. I mean, he was the best.
I just felt like the band, the Donna band, playing their Cherokee, his voice, and then Donna running the ball down everybody's throat
yeah.
was just a perfect chemistry
Yeah.
of what Donna high school football was all about.
Sure.
And he's going to be missed.
Definitely.
And I mean, whoever fills in for him has a big job, big shoes to fill. But we can't forget, Job Rios.
No, absolutely not. I know you interviewed him shortly before, or maybe not shortly, but you had a chance to interview him.
The very first Battle of the Reservoir.
Okay.
I did a story on him, and we had about an hour and a half talk, and we hung out right out here outside the bleachers. And great guy. We had a great time, and very humble man. Very humble man. I enjoyed my time with him, and like we said, he will be missed. But other than that, we hope that the fans enjoy this next Donna Welsaco game. And I grew up in the Mid Valley hearing the Donna Redskins state champs over and over and over again. And no matter what happens this week, we go back to favorite memories. Here's another one. After the 2012 game, I remember the Panthers and the Redskin players coming together at the 50-yard line, huddling and said a prayer together. And they did it in 2012, 2013, and last year. For all the good and the bad that has happened in this rivalry, I thought that was just special. I think that would be the perfect word for it, that it was special. And, there's good sportsmanship involved. And so, parents see that, the fans see that, and everybody. So I thought that was a great
example. Like we
example.
said earlier, I mean, you can kind of chuckle about the fight now. I mean, 20 years
Sure.
later. But at the time, I mean, tensions were high, and there were effects after that. I mean, both administrations got together, and I know they changed some things here, the way we did things here at football games and stuff like that, as far as welcoming and things like that. And there were gifts sent back and forth to try to repair that.
Right,
so,
right.
It wasn't like, hey, we like to fight, this is fun, and hey, ha, ha. I mean, it changed things, and it was a moment that not many people were proud of.
Right.
And it did change the rivalry a little bit, but, like I said, now you can kind of point back at it and say, this is what happened. But, I don't think it was glorious.
That don't mean there ain't going to be security in the field. Just like the games, there's always extra security for this game. But in the end,
they're not going to be giving each other baskets the whole day,
right?
The whole night.
Pre-game maybe.
But
But after the game, you shake hands.
Sure.
You congratulate one another and you wish them well. But Jake, Greg Silber, we send it back to you.